बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि व आलिहि वसल्लम अल्लाहुम्मा रब्बी ज़िदनी इल्मा अस्सलातु वस्सलामु अलैका या सय्यदी या ख़ातमन नबिय्यीन सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि व आलिहि वसल्लम आमीन अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन। In this lecture, I will discuss some important concepts of binomial expansions. For this lecture, I am using the work of one of my best students, Ms. Laiba Gulzar of class 2021, the Lyceum. Be simple yet graceful. Binomial expansions. In this chapter, you will learn how to expand expressions of this form and this form, where n can be any positive integer. Expansions of these types are called binomial expansions. The word binomial means two terms. Here are some examples of binomial expansions. In this expansion, the first term of the expansion is 1. Whereas in these two examples, the first term of these two expansions is not 1. So, when the first term of the expansion is 1, we use a different binomial theorem to expand these types of expansions. Whereas, when the first term of the expansion is not 1, like in these two examples, then we use a different binomial theorem to expand these types of expansions, to make the calculations simple, where n can be any positive integer. The value of n starts from 3. We use two important mathematical operations in binomial expansions. Number one, factorial. This symbol is known as factorial. You can find this symbol in your calculator. Well, 2 factorial means 2 into 1. 3 factorial means 3 into 2 into 1. Similarly, 4 factorial means 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So you can use your calculator to find the values of factorial, like 2, 3, 4 factorial and any number. Well, 1 factorial is 1 and 0 factorial is also 1. You can verify these results in your calculator. The second mathematical operation is combinations. This is known as combinations, where both n and r are integers, positive integers. The value of n starts from 1, but in binomial expansions, usually n starts from 3. So we can say n could be any number from 3, any positive integer. And the value of r starts from 0. And its maximum value is n, because n is greater or equal to r. You can find this symbol in your calculator. And you can evaluate these results as well. If you have to find 5C2, you should use your calculator and find this. The answer of this is 10. Your calculator will give you 10. Similarly, if you need to find 5C1, your calculator will give you 5. If you need 5C0, it should be 1. And if you would need 5C5, it must be 1. So you can verify these results from your calculator. And we can have any positive integer here and here. But this is not possible. 5C6, because according to this, n is always greater or equal to r. This is n and this is r. So you won't find the value of this thing. This will be invalid. calculator will give you math error. More rules regarding combinations. So when the power of the expansion is unknown, then we use these results. NC1. You have to simplify this. And how will you simplify this? You just need to write factorial of this number here. This is 1, so write 1 factorial. And since we have 1 here, so we must have just one term in numerator, n. If you need to simplify NC2, then you have to write 2 factorial here, factorial of this number. And since we have 2 here, so we must have 2 terms in numerator in terms of n, and the value of n must be decreasing, n and n minus 1. The first value must be n, and the next should be n minus 1. If you have to simplify NC3, then it should be 3 factorial, and we must have 3 terms in numerator in terms of n, and n must be decreasing, and so on. You can also simplify NC4 in this way. So this is the way to simplify combinations in terms of n when the power of the expansion is unknown, when we have these types of questions. For example, 1 minus x upon 3 whole power n. So to solve these types of questions, we need to simplify combinations.